Step right up, dummies, and listen to the stupidest sports show on earth with Rodney Newpole and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah.
Well, hello, dummies, and welcome to episode number 144 of the stupidest sports show on earth. My name, as you all know, is Tim Skip to my Lou Van Stratton. That one made you laugh. I knew it. I knew you'd like that one. With me is Rodney Newpole, the great Rodney Newpole. He of no nickname, but of all reputation. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. I can't compare the weather tonight as you're probably in. What is it out there in Hawaii now? 80, 90?
Oh, well. I happen to live in one of the colder areas of the island. I'm up on a rainforest mountain, 3,700 feet above sea level. But I would say this week the high's been about like high 60s, low 70s. But you get down south a little bit. That's when you get to the 80s and stuff. Like Kona side, you're going to get into the 80s. But it rained today. It rained today quite a bit, which was nice. We needed it. So
yeah, we had some rain just an hour ago in central Illinois. But no, it was like 75 today. And we can get right into the first topic. It was 90 degrees on my trip to Tampa. Yeah. It was a small 3.5 day weekend. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, you were flexing the, it's 91 here or whatever, and I'm just thinking to myself, I was like, I ain't sitting outside in 91 degree weather in Florida comfortably. So I don't know how you do it, but that didn't seem like a flex to me.
It was pretty warm, but got to see my oldest nephew graduate college. So congrats to him at the University of Tampa. Just spent a lot of time by pool and at the graduation, at a graduation party, and back home. It was a quick trip, but a good trip. Nice warm weather, and So no travel plans for the immediate future for me. But what about you? You're probably pretty locked in Hawaii. You're not traveling anywhere anytime soon.
I'm pretty locked in. I don't have any immediate travel plans for a while. My traveling is just like, hey, let's go to Kona to go to Costco. That's the travel plans right now. No, other than that, it's been fun though.
Let's get right to our Gateway Sports sponsor. Let me read that off. Thanks to the great partners over at Gateway Sports. If you love sports at every level, there's only one place you need to be. That is Gateway Sports. They cover it all from the preps, college, and the pros. Real coverage, real voices, real passion for the game, from live shows to podcasts to region. From live shows to podcasts, Gateway Sports connects the region like nobody else. Proudly powered by First Form and Recalibrate. Visit gatewaysports.net. Every level, one Gateway. Thank you, Gateway Sports. Appreciate the partnership and the picture, the Nightmare Fuel picture that Tim has up there.
You don't announce the name of it. That's just what I named the file. Their intention was not for it to be Nightmare Fuel. That's just what I named it because at the time I was very taken aback by my appearance and how I looked like I was 70 years old, but like a sprightly 70.
Yeah. So thank you, Gateway Sports,
shout out Gateway. Yeah.
All right.
Just FYI, Rodney. Yeah, so I planned the show, but I feel like you're going to have to take a little bit of a lead today. I do have the Ducks game on right now. I'm incredibly distracted. If you see me just keep looking down, that's why. This is the downside of having a team in the playoffs and still having a show to do Tuesday night, Thursday night. I'll have the same thing to do Game 6 on Thursday night. But as a professional, it is my job to be here for you, the audience, as people are coming in more and more to hang out with us. But all that to say, Rodney, I feel like you're going to have to lead us along here. Hopefully I prepared a show that's easy to follow.
I'm all good. I'm all good with that. Let's talk a little NBA. So the Thunder and the Knicks have both moved on. The Thunder eliminated your Lakers in 4 games. How much of a douchebag was Dylan Brooks sitting front row?
Yeah, I could not believe when, doing the whole sort of celebrity bro and you see all these guys. It's like, okay, yeah, this celeb. What is Dylan Brooks doing there? He's such a chud. I don't know.
Yeah.
Word, but like he's such a loser. I don't know what he was doing there. I don't know why he qualifies as a star too, like a celebrity to be there. Like that, he's just another NBA player, but a worse one than a lot of the guys. So
agreed. So Knicks took care of the 76ers in a blowout fashion, both 4-game sweeps. Now they both will have plenty of time off, and I mean plenty of time off, because they are awaiting winners, and right now the Spurs look like they are going to go up 3-2 on Minnesota as they have a 15-point lead with about 10 minutes to go. And the Pistons and Cavaliers, they're going 7.
It feels like it. If I'm the Knicks, I'm good with that. Yeah. I'm good with just letting them fight to the death and just sitting back and relaxing.
Yeah. So that series, game 5 is tomorrow. So you're looking at least 2 more games. You're looking at Wednesday, Friday at minimum, with a possible game 7 on Sunday. So yes, Knicks are going to get plenty of time off. San Antonio could finish their series on Friday. I guess they're taking Thursday off, so they're going on Friday. Both games are Friday. So we got 2 series left, and they're both going on Friday. But anyways, that is so. You put the question together. Do we have confidence? How much confidence do we have that it'll be Thunder Knicks in the final? Let me ask you. Thunder Knicks the final, is it happening?
Like all season long, I was like, hey, this Spurs team seems to get the better of OKC. I could see myself taking San Antonio against OKC in a 7-game series. The Knicks were a team that, had some lulls this year. I don't know. Like, they didn't seem like their ceiling was quite as high as what we saw from last year. That said, I truly feel like the 2 series that are going on right now don't mean anything.
Yeah.
And I feel like we are on a collision course for the Thunder, who have just looked dominant. They've swept their way through the postseason. The Knicks have almost swept their way through the postseason. They're going to be rested. They have experience, which is, I think, the big difference. So let's say you face San Antonio if you're OKC. This is San Antonio's really their first experience in this type of environment. OKC's been doing this a couple of years and is the defending champ. The Knicks now, they're no longer like, oh, wow, this is great. The Knicks are back in the playoffs. The Knicks have been playoff staples now for several years. And this core has been together for a long time. If you're going to face Detroit, like Detroit's in that San Antonio range where like they're still very young and they might be a title team, but not yet.
Not yet.
And even Cleveland, like I think Cleveland just has a very limited ceiling as well. So I feel like when you factor all of those things in, we're going to be looking at Thunder Knicks at that. And honestly, like the Thunder will win that series, but it's hard for me to see an outcome right now where the NBA Finals are anything besides these 2 teams.
Next question for you, and it's not one you put together, and then we're going to get to a different basketball topic. So you say the Thunder are going to win the NBA Finals. That means they have to win 16 games. Thunder go 16 and what in the NBA playoffs?
I don't know. So I think the Spurs are going to win. I think Spurs maybe get 2 games on them. And then maybe the Knicks get a game. So I'll go 16-3 for the Oklahoma City Thunder in the postseason.
I say 16-2. I'll go 16-2. I think they get 2 losses. I may give them one loss in each series. I'm not sure San Antonio gets them twice, but I guess we'll find out.
Maybe 2 times is being a little too optimistic if I'm the Spurs, but. Yeah, I don't think OKC is going to sweep their way through the postseason. If that's what you were hoping I would say, that would be awesome. Although I really don't love the Anaheim Ducks just scored a goal. I don't love watching the Oklahoma City Thunder play, and it's not like this would be a situation where I'm like, oh, you know what? It's so great to watch such a majestic, great basketball team sweep their way through the playoffs. Like, they're not that fun to watch. Like, I could stand Golden State at their peak, but like, no, there was no denying that the Golden State Warriors, their dynasty was incredible. Like, just to view on the way that they won. Like, OKC doesn't have a ton of that.
No, pretty boring.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the only downside. But, like, let me ask you this then. So, Thunder Knicks, is that at this point your ideal final? Is there a matchup right now that you would rather see than these two teams based on who's left right now?
Probably still Thunder Nick. I would rather see San Antonio probably. See Wemby in a final.
Spurs Knicks would be awesome.
Spurs Knicks would be awesome. It doesn't have to be the Knicks. I mean, I'm okay with any of the three left in the East in the finals against the Spurs. Timberwolves
would be fun too, no?
They would be. Yeah, they would be. I don't know. I don't know is that they're going to get – I mean, they're going to go down 3-2 tonight. They need some help because they're going to have to – they have to win in San Antonio in Game 7. So, I think probably San Antonio would be most fun for me to watch in the West. And then maybe Detroit just because of how unknown they are. Like, we haven't seen them as much. I don't know. Like, it'd be fun.
It would be fun to see an NBA Finals game in Detroit again.
Yeah.
Like, just that environment, I think, would be fun. We need more places in the NBA. Like, I was thinking about this too, just watching the Stanley Cup playoffs. Like, have you seen like the environment in Montreal? Like,
yeah.
Like, it would be awesome if the NBA had arenas like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you got a lot of new blood in the NHL playoffs, which makes that fun.
Mm-hmm. But like the NBA, if you could have something like that, that would be great. But when I'm thinking about who's left, like, I think Detroit could be loud. Like, Detroit could be an exciting, like a good place to play, probably more so than Cleveland. But yeah, I think at this point we're due for the Knicks to get in. I thought they were going to do it last year before they choked against the Pacers. And yeah, it's going to be really hard, barring any sort of injury to SGA or whoever, to see the Thunder. But even still, like, the Thunder's numbers without SGA on the floor, they still were dominant.
Right.
Like, they're just they're so deep, and they have to be decimated by injuries for them to really slow down realistically.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next question. Who has a better future? Both teams lost in the second round. Philadelphia 76ers, who have fired their general manager today. Yeah. But Nick Nurse is staying on as the head coach. Or J.J. Redick and the Los Angeles Lakers. Who has the better future, 76ers or Lakers?
So it's interesting. The one positive that the Sixers have is that their core players are all locked in. Like, they're all under contract, at least for this year, if not a couple more years. Like, I think Paul George might have one more year off the books, but like VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey, like their core is still in place. Whereas the Lakers, Reeves and LeBron are free agents, and they kind of have to ask some questions. Now, that said, I think the Sixers have sort of shown what their ceiling is just continuously. And their number one player, their most expensive player, makes $58 million a year, and you're going to get like 40 games out of him a season.
Right.
That's not going to get it done. That's not going to get it done. And like with the Lakers, do they beat OKC fully healthy? I don't think so. Not this year, but I mean, I think a lot of people see the Lakers with Luka and Reeves just as the foundation, and we're not even getting to LeBron, regardless of what happens there. But like, Luka's the best player. If you combine both rosters, Luka's the best player.
Yeah.
It's a desirable location, and like aside from OKC, like that's really your absolute main competition in the West. I think you have the potential to go into next season better than Denver, better than Minnesota, potentially better than the Spurs, depending on how you build your roster. But so I'll say the Lakers in that regard, but that could change if LeBron is like, I think I'm done. And Austin Reeves is going to cost too much money. And the Lakers then try to go star hunting and maybe they can't get it done. And then it's suddenly the 2023 Dallas Mavericks in Hollywood. Like that could be the other side of it. So there's more risk there, but I think the upside is definitely higher with the Lakers than it is with the Sixers right now.
What do you think LeBron will do?
I think he'll come back. I do. LeBron James, I don't know if you know this, Rodney, and he I don't know if he'll ever admit it, but the guy loves attention. He does like attention, and he loves attention. And I don't know, the idea of him just fading into the sunset after getting swept by OKC with no Luka out there, like I don't think that's how it goes for him. And especially with the way he was playing in the playoffs, like he showed that he could still play at a very high level in today's NBA. So I don't know. I feel like he would probably go into the year or like announce during the year that like this is it, and maybe have some sort of like last dance officially rather than just like going away randomly. Like he's not just going to disappear.
I wouldn't think he's just going to disappear. I think he's going to get his last hurrah. But I mean, Bronny's got one more year left on his rookie contract, right? Or is it
that
two?
Sounds right. Yeah, because he's had 2 years, right?
Yeah, he said
well,
2.
No, is it a 4 year? Is it 4 years for
that's what
for
I
rookies
couldn't.
in
That's
the
what I
NBA?
couldn't remember. You're probably right. It is 4 years, so he's got 2 left.
Yeah,
yeah. I think LeBron will be back too.
Yeah, and we don't think that this is. Oh, he's going to come back, but he's only going to play for Cleveland, or he's only going to play for the Knicks. Like at this point, it seems like it's LA or nowhere.
Yeah, I think you're right there. What did he say? He said he would talk to the Lakers, Knicks, Cavs, and like Warriors or somebody, right?
Was it Warriors? I mean, I don't know if him going to the Warriors is just to be buddy with Steph for a year. Yeah. Like that's not a championship winner.
No,
that team is not doing it. I mean, they already got Jimmy Butler there. Okay, so does Steph, LeBron, and Jimmy Butler and Draymond today in the year of our Lord 2026 that finishes where in the Western Conference?
Steph Curry, LeBron, and Butler and Draymond. They finished like 6th.
I was going to say 6th. I think like the 6th seed is my ceiling there.
Yeah. They avoid the play-in.
Yeah. Can I ask you something? Speaking of the Warriors, so like of course all of the talk in sports media is about LeBron getting swept by OKC, blah blah blah. Did Steph Curry get criticized at all for not even getting out of the play-in round, or is all of the backlash just on LeBron James? Like how does that work?
It seems to be just on LeBron James. Nobody really talks about Curry not winning for several years now. Steve Kerr is coming back. I was a little surprised there. I thought Kerr maybe done in Golden State.
Well, I thought with when it was announced, because I think it was the day of the draft lottery, and it was like, oh God, Steve Kerr's coming back. The fix is in. Golden State's going to get a top 4 pick. That didn't happen. You missed the draft lottery. You were in Florida. Do you have any thoughts there? Do you have any feelings about the Washington Wizards getting maybe it's – I think the consensus now is DeBonsta is going to be first overall. That could change, but that's the talk right now.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it kind of in a group text that Washington is certainly going to have some players, right? I mean, it's Trae Young, it's Anthony Davis, it's Sarr, it's DeBansa, and then I don't remember who the 5th one was that you said, but they're going to have dudes.
It's like Keyshawn George. Yeah,
they're going to have a roster, and in the East, I don't know. Can they make a run? Now they have to stay healthy. Trae Young, Anthony Davis have not necessarily been the epitome of staying healthy, but
no.
I don't know. I guess that means Darren Peterson second to Salt Lake, which I don't know. It's probably a decent market for him to go, kind of stay quiet if he is missing games. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But, I mean, I don't think there was any major surprise. Well, Indiana not getting a draft pick sucks for them.
Yeah, that does suck. I mean, they won, 19 games this year?
Yeah.
Didn't get a first-round pick. It's the equivalent. Like, they traded Benedict Mathurin, a pick that ended up being 5th overall, and whatever else for Ivica Zubac. Now, they can say, hey, we desperately needed a center. We got a center. Our Halliburton's going to be healthy next year. We were like 3/4 away from winning a championship when everyone was fully healthy. So they can at least say that. But yeah, like losing that pick hurts. And especially it's the Clippers who, like, you could argue with all the Kawhi Leonard stuff and that whole drama, like, should they even have a first-round pick?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm with you on that.
That's a whole thing. How about the Chicago Bulls, by the way? So they have the biggest leap up. They go all the way to 4th overall. So whoever takes over there, their new regime, is going to likely get a Caleb Wilson. Maybe it's Keaton Wagler there. But no, that's a much needed pick for a Bulls team that I don't know if they'll still do this, but likes to collect a lot of solid players rather than a couple stars.
Yeah, no, it's a new regime. Yeah, so a new regime in Chicago that, but I think that's got to be Caleb Wilson. I know the Wagler local ties of playing at Illinois and going to the Bulls. I see a higher ceiling for Caleb Wilson than I do Keaton Wagler. I think the Bulls got to go with him. I would be surprised if they don't make that pick.
Yeah, I'm with you. But the NBA draft talk is a little premature, but I'm glad that you were able to have some thoughts after a lottery that at first I was like, all right, I don't think it was rigged for Washington. Because I think if it was rigged, like with all the NBA tanking talk or anti-tanking talk, I think the NBA, if they wanted to rig it, they would do something like, hey, let's reward the teams that didn't actively tank. But that didn't happen. The teams that actively tanked came out ahead with this one. All right, how about we switch over to baseball real quick, Rodney? A classic game here on the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth is called For Real or Nah. Well, I'm going to present some teams that are having some pretty surprising years for better or worse. And I'm going to get your thoughts here, whether their record, their place in the standings is for real or nah, it ain't real. So we're going to start with our buddy Skeeter's Chicago White Sox. Now, yes, they're 19-21. That's under 500. But when you consider that, like 2 years ago, the White Sox were the worst team in the history of Major League Baseball, that they're close to 500 on May 12th. And as of, I don't know if it's changed, there's been some games today, but when I was putting the show together earlier, they were occupying the 3rd and final wild card spot, sole possession of the wild card spot in the American League. If the season ended this morning, the White Sox will be playing postseason baseball. So, are the Chicago White Sox for real or not?
Well, the White Sox won again tonight. They beat the Royals 6-5, so they would still hold that spot. I mean, no, I don't think the White Sox are for real, and I don't think the White Sox will make the playoffs. There's going to be teams that'll play better in the American League. But it's funny because every time we come on here and we talk Major League Baseball, we talk about the failures of the American League. It is the Rays, it is the Yankees, it's the Guardians, it's the Athletics. So the only 4 teams above 500. Back to the White Sox. I just don't think they're for real. Probably 75 wins maybe for the White Sox. That's just not enough. I'm going to go nah on the White Sox.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. 75 wins for the White Sox is like how many more wins than their season over under? I mean, like we're saying, only 75 wins, but like that would be an incredible success for a White Sox team that is like people probably picked to lose 100 games again.
Yeah, but it's not for real.
I mean, in the American League, 75 wins at this
No
point
way.
might get you the
No
third
way.
one at this rate. What is the third? How about this, Rodney? What is the third wild card team in the American League finish at this year? What's their record?
I mean, I think they're going to be 500. So I mean, I'll go 81-81.
Yeah. So that's still the White Sox finishing only like 6 games out of a playoff spot.
Yeah. But I think there'll be a bunch of teams. I think you'll see Baltimore, Toronto, Boston all fighting around that number. I think you'll see. I mean, I think Seattle, Texas are going to be better. Shoot, even I mean, right now Detroit's in last in that division. I think they're going to be better. So I don't know. I will go 500 for that last wild card, and I just don't think the White Sox will get there. Let's bring this guy. Dan is in the house. Better late than ever. Sup, fellas? What's going on, Dan? What's going
Taking
on,
a break
Dan?
from playoff hockey.
Yeah, the Minnesota Wild and the Minnesota Timberwolves are both still alive. Minnesota sports. You didn't update us that the Golden Knights scored a goal.
I did leave that out. We were in the middle of a good discussion. Yeah, it's been some it's interesting first period here. Ryan Poehling got boarded. Left the game with an injury. Braden McNabb on the Golden Knights got a 5-minute end game misconduct. So he gone with a very dirty high hit on Ryan Poehling. The Ducks scored on their 5-minute power play. But the Golden Knights, they did tie it up here in the last 5 minutes or so of the period. So we're in the first intermission. It's 1-1 in Vegas. It's all tied up. And I'm a nervous wreck about it. All right, number 2. For real or nah, the entire National League Central. I couldn't pick one team. Your St. Louis Cardinals are in the mix, but also like the last place team right now is the Cincinnati Reds, who went into today still 3 games over 500. This isn't even like, the last place is clinging to 500 or right around there. Like 3 games over 500. They would be dominating the American League right now. So the entire National League Central as a whole, are they for real or not? Like, are we looking at a division where all 5 teams are going to be like 78 plus wins this year?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously the Cubs are the class of the division. The Brewers have won 5 in a row. They're starting to play well. Pittsburgh has shown signs that they are better. You still got Skeens, who was terrific tonight. I mean, the Cardinals, like, they're just finding ways. I know they blew a game on Sunday, but they played pretty well in San Diego. They're getting good pitching. Cincinnati's that team that's kind of frustrating me, and maybe they're not so good. Now they were 3 games over going into today. They lost today to the Nationals. I don't think they're all going to finish over 500. I think you'll see 3 of them over 500, and I do think this is the season that you get 3 National League Central teams, because I'm not sure anybody else in the East is going to get there. Philadelphia's playing better. They're playing better. I don't know if the Mets can dig themselves out of a 9 under 500 hole. And then in the West, I think you're going to see San Diego and LA. So I think you do have a chance to see 3 teams. For real, as far as all over 500, I just don't think 5 teams are going to finish over 500. That would be impressive, though.
Who are the 3 teams?
Cubs and Brewers. I'm going to cautiously. I know. I mean, the Cardinals swept the Pirates in a 4-game series. Cardinals have been good against the National League Central, but I just think it's still going to be the Pirates. I think the Pirates will finish over 500. I mean, you got Skeens getting the ball every 5 days. You're finding some offense in that team. I do think it's going to be Pirates. Skeens is now 6-2 with a 1.82. I mean,
which Rodney, do you remember his first 2 starts of the season?
Well, one, I remember his first one. Yes, thank you, O'Neal Cruz, for not being able to play any defense whatsoever. But he can't beat the Cardinals. Fortunately, Cardinals and Pirates play next week, but Skeens is not scheduled to pitch. Thinks that's good for him because he cannot beat the Cardinals. But I'll go Cubs, Brewers, Pirates, Cardinals, Reds. I think the Reds finish last.
Picking against Tito and them boys. A bold strategy, Rodney. We'll see if it pays off. All right, number 3, for real or not, the formerly Oakland Athletics. The Athletics who it's probably a little too early for the victory parade here, but they were one of the teams that I picked to go to the playoffs in the American League. The American League West is a terrible, terrible division, but the A's right now are sitting at 21-19. Love their lineup, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts here. The A's, are they a for real contender to win the division this year, Rodney?
Well, my Cardinals are currently playing them right now. It's the Cardinals' trip to Sacramento. St. Louis is up 4-3 in the third inning. I feel like I'm a broken record. I'm not going for real here. I just don't know if they have enough starting pitching. I do think Seattle and Texas both finish ahead of the A's. I'm gonna go with nah. Are we sure the Athletics can pitch well enough to get to the playoffs? I don't see it.
Well, let's think about this. The A's have a good farm system. If they're leading the division in June, July, or on the cusp of leading the division, they can swing a deal for a pitcher. No, I mean, I'm not saying Tarek Skubal, but you don't think that they could add an arm or two at the deadline and try to make something happen here, even if it's just a clear rental? Like, you have to think about it through that lens too.
But will they? But will they actually do it?
Yeah. Well, that's the question. That's the question. And if they were already in Vegas, I think we'd be a lot more inclined to say yes, they would. In Sacramento, I don't know. I'm not so sure. But they have made free agent moves the last couple of years. Like, they gave Luis Severino a pretty substantial deal. So they're spending more money in that regard than we've seen it previously. They're extending a lot of their young core. Maybe this is the changing of the guard here for the A's, and we're going to see a team that actually tries to compete and win. And a good, easy way to do that would be to acquire a pitcher at the deadline. And I think that certainly changes the equation. So if it's not the A's, then who? Seattle?
I think Seattle and Texas both beat them in the division. Seattle, boy, Cal Raleigh's got to figure something out. And I think he will. I mean, he's obviously not going to do what he did in 2025. But I do think Seattle and Texas both finish ahead of the Athletics.
Did Cal Raleigh – I saw they won 8-2 today. I'm assuming Cal Raleigh finally got a hit.
I will find out. Let's see. Seattle Mariners.
He did get a hit. He went 1 for 3, 2 runs, and a walk. So the scoreless streak the hitless streak is over. Julio Rodriguez did go for 5. The game's still going on, by the way, but Mariners are going to win that one. Yeah, that's so I don't know what the streak ended at for Cal, but it was 0 for his last 34 after yesterday, that's hard.
That's not good. That's not good.
No, you know what? I'm going to say it. He's not going to win the MVP this year.
No, he's not. No, he is not. And on the other side, Seattle beating up on a really bad Houston team. Boy,
I didn't even include them in for real or nah. They suck. Like, they're not a good team. The roster's bad. They're done. They're done.
Yeah,
bad team.
Not been good.
All right, now we're going to go to the other side here for the last couple for reals or nahs. The Philadelphia Phillies, who you mentioned are playing better. They're back to now just 3 games under 500, but they're still 4.5 games back of the wild card. They're behind the Marlins in the standings. Is this Phillies team have we seen the last of them as a contender in the National League? Or do you think that there's still a chance for this team that's pretty old, but still has a lot of talent to make the postseason here?
Obviously, they've been better with Don Mattingly. Just one of those needed a change, and Kyle Schwarber's now hit home runs had a home run in 5 straight games.
He'll do that.
He will do that. I think they'll compete. I don't know if they can compete with the Braves for the division. I mean, they're 9 games out of the division is rough. I do think they'll be in the mix for the wild card. I kind of mentioned. I think 3 from the Central can get there. The Padres, I believe, are there. But I think the Phillies can be that thorn in the side of Brewers, Pirates. I think they're kind of the next best opportunity. So to answer the question, I think they're more for real than they are now. I do think they'll finish above 500.
I'm so torn with the Phillies. Like, would it surprise me at all if they go on like an 11-game winning streak during the year and turn their season around? It wouldn't, I guess, but like they look old, and I don't love what I see out of them, and like they're just so far behind the Braves now, overall, not just in the division, but just like where they're going, their directions. I'm very low on them, but we've seen a lot of turnarounds in the past. Like, the Blue Jays probably were somewhere around 19-22 at this time last year, and look what happened. So it can definitely turn around. But I'll say them missing the playoffs right now is a soft for real. That's where I'll put them. Last one, the Boston Red Sox. Don't be fooled by the fact that they're only 2 games out of a playoff spot right now. They are 6 games under 500. I've been thoroughly unimpressed with what I've seen from Boston this year. Cardinals played the Red Sox. I can't remember how did they win the series? Did Cardinals win that series at home?
I think Boston won 2. No, the Cardinals did. Boston won the first one. St. Louis won the next 2. So they did beat them.
Where you took Roman Anthony to hit a home run and he just hit soft grounders the entire game.
That's right, Master Sunday. That's right. Yeah. I do not think that Boston won 2 out of 3. I had that wrong. Cardinals won the first one. Boston won the next 2. I do not think the Red Sox are very good. So I'm going to go nah. So
yeah, I really don't think so either. They're like Crochet's been pitching really dreadful. The lineup is. I thought the lineup would be a lot better than it is, even with that. Like, despite trading Devers last year, I was like, oh, they still have some bats there. Like, Wilson Contreras has actually done pretty well for them.
Yeah.
But as a whole, there's a lot left to be desired there. So yeah, I'm out on Boston too. I don't think they're all
Jalen Duran hasn't been very good. He's under 200.
Yeah, he hasn't been good for a while, huh?
Trevor Story strikes out a lot.
He does strike out a lot. Yeah, that does happen. All right, shall we get to the PGA Championship, my friend?
Yes. Tell us all about the PGA Championship.
Oh, brother. All right. Well, I'm trying to get onto DraftKings here because I want to help you put together this lineup here. But as you know, I now live in a state that is it is not legal. So I just want to look at the lineups. I just want to look. I'm not going to put anything in. I just want to look at it. Here we go. Just so I can actually help you. But PGA Championship starts on Thursday at Aronimink. Is that how we pronounce it? I'm sure we'll learn. Donald Ross design. It's one of those classic courses here, but I think there's going to be some weather that factors in too this week. So I always hate trying to peg who's going to win these tournaments when there's weather expected to come up here. Where do you want to start here? Should we just go right into the lineup?
I think we should just go right in the lineup and go from there. Yeah. So obviously it's on the East Coast. It's in Philadelphia. I would guess I know we here in Central Illinois are supposed to start getting some weather Friday and all the way through Sunday, some possible rain. So they're going to get it a day or so behind it. I would guess by Saturday, Sunday, they're probably going to get some weather, which let me pull it up. Newton Square, Pennsylvania. Let me pull it up on the weather and see exactly what they're calling for. But I don't know. Who are our weather guys? I mean, who are the guys that are going to thrive in weather, and who are the guys that are going to melt down in this weather?
Yeah, well, it's weather guys, and then also who can putt the hell out of the golf ball? Because I think this is another course that has some insane green complexes too. So there's some natural slopes that are very severe for because from what I read, it's a super old course that designed their greens for slower speeds, but now that everything is just a little bit faster, now the slopes are super intense. So there's several holes along the course where if you miss the correct tee or you hit your approach shot in the wrong pocket of the green, you're going to face a really difficult 2-putt plus opportunity to finish up the hole here. So I think definitely want to look at approach players and then who could putt the hell out of the ball.
So actually,
Scotty's the favorite. Scotty's going to be the favorite, but like Rory, DeChambeau, Rahm, Cam Young, Xander Schauffele, like a lot of the same guys that were popular picks for the Masters are also getting a lot of the love here for this week.
Yeah, so actually looking at weather, I think we're going to be good. They've taken some of that. So PGA Championship weather is looking pretty good. There's Thursday now a chance of rain, but Sunday final round they say sunny and temperatures in the 80s. So I think we're going to avoid some of the bad stuff. So yeah, I mean I guess that neutralizes things or doesn't put a damper on the guys that can't play as well in the weather. I'm going to let you start today. I'm going to let you start with our lineup, figure out where we're going to go from there. DraftKings, you get $40,100 to put 6 players together. Just for an example, Scotty Scheffler's 13-9. Rory McIlroy's 12-4. Bryson is 10-9. And then, obviously, price goes down from there. So, what are you thinking?
Man, my first instinct was Justin Rose, but he hasn't played particularly well in the 2 tournaments after Augusta. So I'm going to put a pin in that one here. How about this? I'll throw you a bone here. One of our favorites, Tyrrell Hatton, 9,100.
Yeah,
I mean, and even if he doesn't win, I just want a contender. And there's a lot of guys that are ahead of him on DraftKings here as far as pricing goes. So I think he'll fall under the radar a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he finished 3rd at the Masters. I mean, if he finishes 3rd here at the PGA Championship, we got our money's worth and more. I mean, there's, like you said, a dozen guys or so that are ahead of him in price. I'm sorry, I said 40, so you get $50,000. I already had I was messing with that. I already had a name in there, but it's not who I want. You get $50,000. You use $9,100 on Tyrrell Hatton, so we have $8,180 left per player. All right.
Yep.
I am going to take. So my first instinct, and I'm kind of going to go where you went here, was I some reason Patrick Reed stuck out to me, but I'm not going to take him. So we both had a quick instinct, and we've moved off him. Yeah, I'll avoid I'll avoid him. I'm going to go with a guy that I don't think I've ever used in the history of putting lineups together. And that is going to be Mr. Reliable, Chris Gotterup.
I like it.
I mean, he was 6th at the Houston Open. He finished 24th at the Masters, 25th at the Heritage, 38th at the Cadillac Championship, and 14th at the Truos. Now, you're probably saying, okay, none of those are amazing. But 8 straight cuts made, that makes a difference for us. And, okay, you make the cut, you finish 18th. Okay, well, if you have 4 or 5 other guys that finish in the top 10, you're going to be looking at cashing some money. So I'm going to go Chris Gotterup at 8,800, which means we have 4 players left for $32,100.
Excellent. All right, my next selection, Rodney, is a guy who is a popular pick for majors, but if you look at his his recent form here, I think he's actually due to win one of these things. How about Ludwig Åberg at 9,800? He comes in at the Truist Championship. He finished top 8. RBC, he was 4th. Masters, he was 21st. Valero Texas Open, 5th. Players Championship, 5th. Arnold Palmer, 3rd. Those are his last 6 tournaments here. So playing super well. And this could be one of the turns where we finally do, and we finally get the Åberg major that has been promised for 2 years now. So 9,800, that does eat a lot of our costs a little bit. We have an average salary now of about $7,400 per spot, but I think we can make it work.
Yeah, so fourth pick, I'm going to go slightly over that average, which still we can make this work. And so I've been known to take some of the veteran guys on tour.
Oh, no.
But this is going to be a veteran guy on tour, but it is not going to be one of my normal veteran guys on tour. You know, I've been known to take a Justin Thomas, a Jordan Spieth, even a Phil Mickelson, a Zach Johnson.
Just say Dustin Johnson and let's move on with it.
No, I'm going to go Jason Day.
Oh, I like Jason Day. Oh,
yeah. So
I can take that.
6th at the Houston Open, 12th at the Masters. Since then, not great. 42nd, 38th, and 68th. But I think Jason Day is a guy that knows how to. I mean, obviously, he's played in majors before. I'm going to go Jason Day, the Australian, 7,800, which gives us 14.5 remaining for 2 players.
Yep. All right. How about. Man, it's shocking the amount of really big names that are all under 7K. By the way, did you ever see a day in your life where Cameron Smith was $6,900 on DraftKings?
That's crazy.
He sucks.
So
I'm not gonna put him there. But what I am gonna do is at 6,800, I'm gonna take a former Open Championship winner. Guy who has finished 31st, 38th, 25th, 33rd. Just give me like a top 30 here at 6,800, Mr. Brian Harmon.
Yeah.
Lefty. I like his short game. I think we can squeeze the Harm dog in there. And that leads us 7,700, and you could take us home here with someone solid.
Yeah, so I think I'll leave a couple $100 on the table here because when I look at So I'll just give the readers or the listeners so like JJ Spahn, Maverick McNeely, this Bridgman cat, Jacob Bridgman, Batia Lee, Ricky Fowler, Keegan Bradley are all in that area. I'm going to go with a second Australian, and I'm going to go 7,500 with Adam Scott. I feel like Adam Scott can show up for a major. 24th last week at the Truist, 4th at the Cadillac Championship, 24th at the Masters. All six of our guys were pretty decent at the Masters. Obviously, none of them were elite and won it. But all like
that's Augusta. 20. You know, that's like Augusta's Augusta, right?
Yeah.
That's just that's a whole different beast here. But no, I like this lineup a lot.
Yeah, kind of all top 25 finishes. Brian Harmon was 33rd at the Masters, but all of them made the cut. Let's hope they all make the cut at this one. I left $200 on the table.
This tournament will start for me Thursday morning at 12:45 a.m., a little bit after midnight. I will not be awake for it.
No. But you'll be awake not too long after that. I don't know if you're getting up like 4 in the morning these days, right?
Yeah. So not too long after that, but I'll awake to all of your texts of just see ya Oberg, see ya Harmon, see ya Hatton, see ya lineup, just all of it. All right, so to recap here, Ludwig Oberg, Jason Day, Chris Gotterup, Brian Harmon, Tyrrell Hatton, Adam Scott. It's a good lineup. Hope it wins, man. Hope it wins, and then I can't play it. You can play it. We'll discuss my rate if you hit it big.
Yeah, I get a little concerned. We really don't have the major star power. We kind of did that. Well, kind of did it with the Masters, didn't we? We kind of went more middle level.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like we had some guys, some dogs. Yeah. I didn't, but like honestly, like someone like Cameron Smith was really attractive to me, but I didn't want to pay, 10 or sorry, not Cam Smith, Cameron Young. But I don't know if I wanted to do Cameron Young at like 10-2 or whatever he was at.
Right. Anyways, that's our lineup and we're sticking to it. I will update you when we, like you said, we get our winnings.
Yep.
All right, one more topic
real quick
here. I'm going to let you jump
one more topic before we get to best bets and things. So the NFL schedule, it's already starting to leak. I'm sure Rodney is very excited about all of the schedule announcements thus far. A couple of the big games. So we already knew 49ers and Rams would be playing week 1 in Melbourne, Australia. I hate when they put great games in neutral locations.
Yeah.
Like 49ers Rams is a great divisional matchup that deserves to be a home game for the Rams. Like that's serious implication. And we're going to put it on the other side of the country. God knows what time zone. Like, I can't stand that. I'd much rather send like Titans Cardinals to Australia. Give them some of that rather than a great game like 49ers Rams. But it was announced also yesterday that the first Sunday night football game of the season will be the Dallas Cowboys, shocker, against the New York Football Giants. So the John Harbaugh era starts Sunday nights, prime time. That'll be a good one. Monday Night Football will be officially Broncos at the Chiefs. What's the percentage chance that Patrick Mahomes doesn't play week 1 Monday night in Kansas City?
25.
25? I will give it 0.003. They will shoot him up with whatever they need to do to get him to play in Kansas City. In Kansas City, Rodney. Week 2, the Buffalo Bills will have their first home game in their brand new stadium on Thursday night against the Detroit Lions. That'll be a fun game. Mm-hmm. Week 3, the Ravens and Cowboys are playing in Rio. Week 9, the Bengals and Falcons are playing in Madrid. And then we know one of the Thanksgiving games already, the Eagles and Cowboys. Right after you have your Thanksgiving meal, just put you to sleep watching the Eagles and Cowboys play. Especially the Eagles.
So that's that 3:30 game. You'll get Lions at 11 or 12, whatever time it is now. Maybe Lions Bears.
Isn't that what they did last year? Or no, that was 2 years ago. Who did the Lions have this year for Thanksgiving? Who was? Was that was the Packers? That's right. Yeah. Couldn't even remember for a second. Yeah. The Bears, though, nothing official, but a lot of people think that the Bears are going to be the NFL kickoff game at Seattle to open up the year.
Makes sense.
It is a good game. Like there's a few options for it, including the Patriots, but I don't think they're going to put a Super Bowl rematch the first game of the season. I think Bears Seahawks in Seattle would be solid.
Would Mike Vrabel be coaching in that game? Patriots Seattle.
What has to happen with Vrabel for him to step down?
Yeah, I know. We talked about that a little on Thursday. I don't know. Yeah. At this point, I have no idea. I have no idea. The story's wild. I feel like maybe it's cooling down.
Well, here's the thing. TMZ is doing such a masterful job where the second that it starts to cool down, bam, new photo comes out or new damning piece of evidence. And they're just like the way that they're staggering these releases, it's all leading to the sex tape that comes out week 1.
The 8-month pregnant tape. Yeah. Anyways, all right. Yeah, we can't go there on this shit. Yeah, we could. This is stupid sports.
No, we could. We should. No, yeah. we won't. We won't because we're low. We're low on time here. But like this is the show for that.
Yeah. All right. Best bets for betting. I failed you. I did not get my picks public. I did have them in my drafts and never sent. I don't know what.
Yeah.
I got distracted by, but ironically, I went 3-2. But no, I did. I'll go ahead and run through mine real quick. I took the Knicks to beat the 76ers. These are all last Friday. Friday picks because we had a show on Thursday, and I knew you went all Friday, and so then I went all Friday. I went NBA, and I'll give you the official scores here. So I went Knicks -3.5. They won by 14. I went Spurs -5.5. They won by 7. I went with the Sabres over the Canadians because it was in Buffalo. Canadians won 5-1. See ya, Sabres. I bet against your Ducks in game 3, and smart. I won. Golden Knights -110. And in baseball, I thought the Cubs their winning streak would be done on Friday night. It was not, but they have not won since. They lost the last 2, and they lost tonight. I hope the Cubs never win another game, but this was the last one they won. as they beat the Rangers 7-1. So I went 3-2 with the Knicks, the Spurs, and the Golden Knights all winning.
They'll never lose again, the Cubs.
I hope they never win again.
140 games and then lose in the first round to the
Cardinals.
All right. My picks, it started off good. Had a nice baseball win with the Cleveland Guardians, who are smaller money line favorite at home against the Twins than I expected, but they won that game 6-4. The 76ers, this shows my lack of ball knowledge here. Boy, the 76ers suck. They suck. Should have known, too. Also, they were playing on the road at Philadelphia for that one with all the Knicks fans coming in. 76ers was a bad loss. Timberwolves at home against the Spurs is a 4.5-point dog. That was a bad loss. The Canadians and Sabres, as you mentioned, that did pan out over 5.5 goals. They got 6 there, mostly due to the Montreal Canadiens, who, by the way, lost today at home 3-2 to Buffalo. So that series is now 2-2. And then the Ducks laid a big fat egg game 3. They did win game 4, but my bet was for game 3. So 2-3 for me. So overall, after that, so you go 3-2, I go 2-3. You're now 77-83 for the year. I'm 79-81. Neither record is very promising.
Nope, not good.
Not good. All right, let's wrap the show here by remembering someone. Let's remember someone. And normally the way that I decide this is just who's just someone who pops into my head at any given moment. Today, it was Moose and Muhammad. So, hey, Rodney, remember Moose and Muhammad? Moose.
I do, but this is one of our more random ones. I will give you that.
Thank you.
He's like 53 years old at this point, 52, 53 years old. Nicknamed the Moose, most commonly known for Carolina, although, we remembered him with the Bears because we knew all the Bears during the mid-2000s. But tell us more about Moose.
So what really stuck out to me about Moose and Muhammad, second round pick by the Carolina Panthers, 1996. He had a very good, solid career. Had a couple 1,000-yard seasons early on, but like if you look at his overall numbers, there's one year in particular that stands out with him, where in an era that had Randy Moss and Terrell Owens and Marvin Harrison and all of these like legendary Hall of Famers, where Musa Muhammad was first team All-Pro. And that was 2004, his last year in Carolina before moving to the Bears, where in 16 games, he had a league-leading 1,405 yards, 16 touchdowns, and averaged just under 88 receiving yards per game. What's crazy, though, about that year is like he had 16 touchdowns that year, where the second most he had in a year was in 1999, where he had 8. So one random year where he had an insane amount of touchdowns, insane amount of yards, and that was it. Like with the Bears, right after that, his following season, he had 750 yards and 4 touchdowns in a fully healthy season. Like he was super durable, played pretty much every game, but like one year where he was incredible, first team All-Pro in a legendary wide receiver era, and that was it. That was it.
Yeah.
And he had a 14-year career, very good career, but like 2 Pro Bowls, but that one first year All-Pro was or first team All-Pro just stands out more than everything else.
The pride of Michigan and a Michigan State grad. So stayed home for his college football. I would not have remembered that. I had to look that one up where he played his college football. But good career for Mushin Muhammad. Just a Hall of Good, right?
I think a Hall of Good, a Hall of Pretty Good. Is good better than pretty good, or is pretty good better? What do you consider?
I think pretty good is better.
I would say he's Hall of Pretty Good. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. And something that doesn't show up on the stat sheet really is Musa Muhammad at the time too was one of the NFL's best blocking receivers. Yeah. So maybe he's one of those guys that sacrificed a lot of the stats over his career in order to be a good blocker. I know those Carolina teams could run the football. He was on that Carolina team that went to the Super Bowl against New England, and they had who was their running back? Was that Stephen Davis who was the running back for Carolina that year, or was it someone else? I don't think it was.
Was it Jonathan Stewart?
No, I thought Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Williams came a little later than that.
Okay,
I thought they were more
right.
like 2008 and on, not 2003.
Yeah, probably right.
You got me thinking about the 2003 Carolina Panthers. This is a good team here. This is a good team that almost won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Well, lost by 3 points. All right, here we go. Carolina Panthers, 2003. So, yeah, Stephen Davis was their starting running back. Their two receivers were Musa Muhammad and Steve Smith. That's a pretty good 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
How about this? You know who their backup running back was? Former UCLA football coach Deshaun Foster.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that didn't work real well. I wanted to give one more shout out to Musa Muhammad. He was named the Panthers Walter Payton Man of the Year in 1999 for his charity and volunteer work. So congrats to being a good dude as well, Mushin. And I don't see any arrest. So congrats, Mushin.
Good job.
Good work.
200. Way to not get arrested. Jake Delhomme was terrible that year, by the way.
Yeah, 202 career games in the NFL.
Jake Delhomme had 19 touchdowns and 16 interceptions the year that they went to the Super Bowl. 3,200 yards. Yep, 3,200 yards for the year. They started all but one game. I'm assuming like all but week 17 or whatever. Yeah, that's brutal.
Not good. No.
All right, let's get out of here, Rodney. A couple of reminders to follow us at Stupid Sports Show on Twitter. That's where we share the live links throughout the show as well. And every day, Rodney's still putting out his picks on Substack, so make sure to give him a follow there. I didn't put the barcode up today. I'll do that right now, just real quick in case anyone is still hanging around here. So scan that barcode. I don't know what side it is. I know Rodney. Yeah, see? I don't know why it's on that side for you. Whatever side it is, there's a big QR code on the screen. You scan it. It'll take you to the Stupid Sports Show Substack. You subscribe. You get free picks daily sent to your email. So go ahead and do that. If you don't, then you hate money. You are adamantly against wealth. It's confusing to be like that. So, yeah, I would go do that. So that about does it, though, for the show. Good show. Thank you, Rodney, for keeping it moving today as I'm watching the Ducks game here. It's kind of all throughout the hour. Appreciate that. So
thanks for setting it up. I will set Thursdays up. We will talk what's going on in PGA. We'll get you ready for the weekend and go from there. So we'll be on Thursday back at 9 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m.
That's right.
Time.
4 p.m.
What's that called? What's the It's not Central. What is it called?
No. It's a great question, Rodney, and you'll never believe it. Hawaiian time.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought.
If they were smart, the scientists would have named it island time. They would have said, "Oh, it's on island time," But no, it's like Hawaiian Standard Time right now.
Yeah.
So HST.
HST. All right. 9 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Hawaiian, and anything else.
For the big audience here that we're cultivating in Hawaii. Obviously.
Well, I mean, every time you go to Costco, you get a new follower. So that's why we need it. We need I should spend a few dollars and get us shirts.
Yeah, get some shirts. I think that would be good. That'd be a worthwhile thing. Make mine linen I could wear it. Stay cool. Yeah, make mine linen though, please.
You could wear it to Costco, and then when they ask, we could just put this photo up. No, who says no?
That's fine. Honestly, if you make a shirt with that and you send it to me, I'll wear the shirt. But also put the QR code for the Substack in the back too, so people would scan it, and then suddenly you're going to get a shit ton more followers there for the Substack.
That's a great idea. All right, that's a project. Yeah. We'll get one of our interns on that, one of our assistants to get on that project. But anyways, all right, let's get out of here. Tim, good luck to your Ducks, and we will chat Thursday night.
Thank you, sir. All right, he's Rodney. I'm Tim. Skip to my Lou Van Stratton, and this has been another edition of the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth. See you guys.
See ya.
Step right up, dummies, and listen to the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth with Rodney Newbold and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah.